Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for returning to our podcast. I had a long weekend. I am into GL series, Girl Love, and them Korean ones, some Asian ones. I don't know the proper terminology for it, but it's GL series. I watched a lot of episodes this weekend. My daughter was sick, so, we stayed at home. I got my wife into watch one of them, and it was fun. It was fun.
Taking notes.
She's taking notes. I told her to take notes. I like taking notes.
You're a hopeless romantic.
Very.
And I'm lacking in the romance field. To me, it's just wine, chocolate, roses.
No.
Nice dinner.
No. It's a lot more to romance.
I know.
But she'll learn. We're still teaching her, guys. We're still teaching her.
Okay.
Well, that's it. Now let's get into the episode. The autumn air of Crosse, Wisconsin. In 1953, carried with it the crisp promise of a football game and homecoming celebration. The trees were painted in red and gold. Their leaves drift across sidewalks as if the whole town had dressed itself for the occasion. Porch lights flicked to life as dusk fell. Car headlights carved through the evening, and the streets seemed to hum with hope. Nearly every house was empty. Families and students drawn towards the stadium, where the roar of the crowd would soon echo against the bluff in the Mississippi River. But not every house was dark. In a quiet neighborhood on the edge of town were new houses lined street, still unfamiliar with shadows. One light glowed steadily against the night. Inside, the atmosphere was calm, too calm, as it would later prove. A baby slept peacefully in her crib. A radio played softly in the background. School books lay neatly stacked as if waiting for someone to return to them. From the outside, it looked ordinary, unremarkable, but behind those glowing windows, something had gone terribly wrong. Furniture set askew as if drawn in panic. A single shoe lay abandoned on the floor. Glasses lay broken, their lens catching the faint light. Drops of blood marked the carpet and led outward, away from safety, away from the familiar. By the time the town awoke the next morning, the football game was over. The cheers had faded, but whispers had begun. A girl was missing. A house that should have been filled with nothing more than a quiet rhythm of babysitting had instead become the stage of a violent struggle. The windows bore marks, sign of someone desperate to get inside. The yard, once just another suburban lawn, now carried the imprint of a sneaker sole and the dark stains of blood. Somewhere in the night, a scream had been heard and dismissed as play. Somewhere in the night, a car circled streets that were supposed to be safe. And somewhere between the beginning of the game and the final whistle, a life had vanished. It should have been another autumn evening in the small town America. Instead, it became one of the most unsolved mysteries in the nation history. An ordinary night turned to a story of shadows, silence, and disappearance. This is the case of Evelyn Grace Hartley. 15-year-old Evelyn Grace Hartley was the kind of girl people trust without hesitation. Born on November 21st, 1937, she was the youngest child of Richard and Ethel Hartley. Her family had already endured hardship. An older brother lost to polio in 1946, and Evelyn, bright and dependable, had become a source of pride for her family. At Central High School, she was known for her sharp mind and quiet charm. She loved science and excelled in her classes, enjoying the clubs from drama to church youth group. Teachers praised her responsibility and admired her poise. And at home, she was simply their steady Evelyn, the girl with a promising future. On the evening of October 24th, the Rasmussen family needed a sitter for their toddler Janice. Their usual babysitter was busy, swept up in the homecoming evening. So they turned to Evelyn. Their connection was simple. Evelyn's father taught biology at the college, and Professor Vigo knew her family well. Evelyn wasn't thrilled at first. She wanted to spend her Saturday evening differently, but her mother reminded her of the promise, and Evelyn agreed. She gathered her school books, planning to study once the baby was in bed, and a small bouquet of flowers, and a thoughtful touch for the household she'd be watching over. At 6:20 p.m., Professor picked her up. Before she left, her father gave her a gentle instruction. Call us at 8:30 just to check in. She never did. The Rasmussen house sat in a quiet, developing neighborhood on the edge of Crosse. It was the kind of place where the night seemed darker than most, where few street lamps lit the sidewalks and shadows stretched along across the yard. When Richard phoned the house around 8:30 and got no answer, he tried again and then again. By 9:20, uneasiness had twisted into something heavier. He left his home and drove down to the house. From the outside, the Rasmussen house looked normal enough, light glowing, a radio humming faintly inside, but every door was locked. Richard rang the bell, knocked, calling out Evelyn, but silence. Then, peering through the window, he saw it. Evelyn broken glasses on the floor, a single shoe nearby. Fear flooded him. He circled the house and found an open basement window. The screen had been removed and leaning against the wall. In the dirt of the window well, sneaker prints pressed deep. Inside, just beneath the opening, stood a stepladder. Richard climbed through. The basement was cold, unfinished, and eerie still. On the floor lay Evelyn's other shoe. Upstairs, he found Janice fast asleep in her crib, unharmed. But the rest of the house bore scares of violence. School books Evelyn had set aside were scattered. Furniture was disturbed. A smear of blood marked the carpet. His daughter was gone. By the time police arrived, Richard's dread and had hardened into grim reality. 3 windows showed pride marks, as though someone had been circling the house, desperate to find entry. Before sailing onto the basement, a pool of blood stained the yard. A bloody handprint smeared the garage wall, chest high, as if someone stumbled while holding a body. More stain dotted a neighbor house. Every clue pointed to a violent struggle.
Sneaker prints with a distinctive suction cup sole pattern dotted the floors and the basement window well. A button snagged on the window frame bore red threads, matching the red denim pants Evelyn had been wearing. It blew away before it could be collected, lost to the wind. Though the doors had been locked when Richard arrived, investigators noted that the front door had a self-locking mechanism. The intruder may have carried Evelyn through it, the lock snapping behind them, leaving no sign of exit. Tracking dogs followed Evelyn sent 2 blocks north to Coley Drive before it vanished. The trail ended abruptly, as if she had been lifted into a waiting car. Neighbors began piecing together what they had seen and heard. One reported a light-colored car circling the neighborhood around 8. Another heard a scream around 7, but dismissed it as children playing. A man named Ed Hofer recalled something far more disturbing at 7:15. He nearly collided with a 2-tone Buick carrying 2 men and a girl in the back seat, slumped forward against the seat in unnatural stillness. He thought nothing of it, believed they were late to the homecoming game. Days later, the memory clawed back, sinister in hindsight. Blood-stained underpants and a brassiere near a highway underpass. Men's trousers discarded farther down the road. A pair of 11 Goodrich sneakers and a denim jacket abandoned in Coon Valley, both stained with Evelyn's blood type. The sneakers thread matched the prints in the Rasmussen home. The jacket was crudely altered, its fabric flecked with paint, its seams rehemmed with white thread. The evidence was tangible, damning, and yet incomplete. 2 different people had worn the sneakers. The jacket seemed too small for a man who wore size 11 shoes. Even the most promising clues unraveled into contradictions. La Crosse was thrown into chaos. Over 2,000 volunteers joined law enforcement in what became one of the largest search efforts in Wisconsin history. Boy Scouts, National Guardsmen, college students, farmers, hunters, everyone scoured woods, fields, rivers. Graves were reopened on the chilling suspicion that Evelyn's body had been hidden in a burial plot. Gas station attendants were deputized to search car trunks and backseats, slapping "My car is okay" stickers on the vehicles they cleared. Still nothing. Days turned to weeks, weeks into months. The Hartleys pleaded for answers through newspapers, even appealing directly to whoever had taken their daughter. "Please, let us know what happened." Their pleas echoed in silence. The investigation churned endlessly. Thousands interviewed, dozens falsely confessing. Rumors spread like wildfire. In 1954, police even attempted mass lie detector tests at Evelyn's high school, testing 300 boys before the practice was halted. Every lead collapsed. Years later, suspicion turned towards Ed Gein, the notorious murderer and grave robber. On the night Evelyn vanished, Gein had been visiting relatives not too far from the Rasmussen home. When his property was searched in 1957, it revealed horrors, body parts, human trophies, but no sign of Evelyn. Gein denied involvement. The whispers never died. Time marched forward, but the wound remained. Evelyn's parents eventually left La Crosse. Settling in Oregon, they had never stopped hoping, though in their hearts they knew their daughter would never come home. Both died without answers. Evelyn's siblings carried the shadows too. One until death in Australia in 2016, and the other still in Oregon. And the little girl Evelyn had been babysitting? Janice grew up knowing she had once slept in a crib while a violent struggle unfolded around her. Her family moved from the house soon after. Her father barred the basement windows, and her parents never allowed her or her sister to babysit. The trauma of that night hung over them like an unspoken curse. It's being treated as a homicide, even without a body. The most tangible evidence, the shoes and jacket, has gone missing. The trail has gone cold, but the mystery endures. A quiet girl, a babysitting job, a house in a dark neighborhood, a violent struggle, a trail of blood, then nothing. Somewhere between 6:30 and 8 p.m. on that October night, Evelyn Hartley was taken from safety and carried into the shadows. And no one, not her family, not the town, not generations of investigators, has ever been able to bring her back. Crosse still remembers her and still wonders, who came for Evelyn that night? Why her? And where does her story end? Before we end this case, we return once more to the autumn night in 1953, where the life of a quiet Wisconsin town was forever changed. The name that still lingers in its memory is Evelyn Hartley, a 15-year-old girl who vanished while babysitting. Her story etched into the fabric of La Crosse like a shadow that never quite fades. Her disappearance was not just the loss of a daughter, a student, a friend. It was the loss of innocence for an entire community. Parents locked their doors more tightly. Children who once roamed freely after dark were suddenly kept close. The river bluffs and winding roads that had always seemed safe now carried an unspoken weight, as if the land itself remembered the night she was taken. Despite the searches, the suspects, the rumors, and the whispers that rippled through the years, Evelyn was never found. Her absence became a presence, one that grew heavier with each passing decade. Photographs of her smile became symbols of a life forever interrupted, and her name became a question that no one could answer. Yet even in tragedy, there remains a strange kind of beauty. Evelyn's story has never been forgotten. Strangers who never knew her still speak her name, still wonder what became of her, still light candles in her memory. It is as if she belongs not just to her family, but to history itself, an eternal reminder of how fragile safety can be, how fleeting an ordinary evening may turn. And so the mystery of Evelyn Hartley endures, a girl lost to the night, her fate unknown, her story echoing across time. Some say the truth may still be out there, buried in silence, waiting to be unearthed. Others believe the answers slipped away with the passing years. We'll all agree on this. La Crosse was never the same after October 24th, 1953. Evelyn's name lives on, not in resolution, but in remembrance. This is the case of Evelyn Grace Hartley. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Let's begin detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Let's begin detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
I'm always going first, but you know.
Ladies first.
Thank you. This one is a doozy. Sometimes I think, was it really Evelyn that they was targeting? You know, because she wasn't their usual babysitter. What if someone was watching the house and noticed his babysitter coming in and coming out? What if it's someone from the neighborhood, right? And he's watching his house, he see this babysitter, he thinks she's cute and he want to do some evil things to her. And he's like, okay, homecoming weekend is the perfect weekend. Everybody gonna be out. The whole town is gonna be at this game. It's a big thing. We're in a small town. Bam. He see the professor drive up and they get out the car. But he probably didn't see Evelyn. He just like saw a girl going in. He was like, okay, she's here. He saw them leave. He was like, I'm going to give it to a certain time. And then that's when the little baby going to go to sleep and I can make my move. Because it seemed like this person really wanted to go in. They was going a window, out the window, out the window to get inside. And to me, I'm thinking about Evelyn. Like, you hearing these people breaking into the house you babysitting, you like, what the crap? Like, what do I do? And then the person coming to the basement, they see Evelyn, they're like, shoot, this ain't the girl I wanted. But, you know, as an evil person, you're like, hey, I'm going to go for her then. And then that's when he probably, you know, attacked her. But it seemed like she fought for her life. She didn't give it up easily. Police officers believe it was 2 people. Me, I'm like, I can see 2, but I really can't see 2. And I feel like nowadays the police, they can really run that DNA. Well, I would say run that DNA. They can run that DNA now because it seemed like they had so much DNA with this case. This case seemed like it had a lot of DNA. Yeah, think about the time period that was in. They really didn't know much about DNA and evidence. So it didn't seem like this person really, really thought the crime through. Like, because they left so much blood. I mean, if you really go kidnap a girl and you want no evidence, you ain't going to leave the blood in your finger. You're not going to leave none of that. Come on now. So I always think about, was it really the other babysitter? Because I found out this babysitter, like the usual babysitter, never spoke out about this case. She always was hush-hush. So to me, something might have happened, made her feel uncomfortable. It was like, you know what, I'm not going to babysit no more. I really wish if she's still alive, because it was a long time ago, hopefully she is alive, she will come out and tell us what really happened in that house. Because I think it was me and you, we were talking about it because we was watching the show. And we said the people that works in the household, they know a lot of the secrets because they kind of hidden a little bit. You don't really notice them, but you just talk freely around them and they know a lot. And to me, it's just, I don't know. This case is hard because you have a lot of evidence that back then you didn't get a chance to run. Like, even they had her blood, they was like, oh, like, they didn't know for sure it was her blood, but like her blood type. Like, now you can really say, hey, this is her blood type. This is her. Like, we have all this information. I feel like cold cases should really open up this case because you have evidence. You have so much DNA. This case could be solved.
Okay, my thought process is who all knew that she was going to babysit, right? So the people that knew were Evelyn and her family, the professor, Vigo, and maybe his family, possibly.
Well, probably of course, his wife and his daughter, because his wife needs to know who babysitting her daughter.
Exactly. And the previous babysitter, right? Like you said, she might know something. Why isn't she speaking? Maybe she's scared. Maybe she got threatened. I understand that it's homecoming, but she knew that the professor had to do it. And how much planning did they make, right? So did he tell her the day before, hey, I need you to watch my baby because it's homecoming? Or like, did he know that she was going to go to homecoming too? Like, how much planning went into this?
Probably like a week or 2, because I don't think it was a day before. I feel like it's probably a week. Like, he told his colleague, like, hey, my babysitter quit on me. I need to go to this game.
Exactly. Who all is he telling?
Oh, I get what you said, because he's probably asking a lot of people, or people probably heard him asking. Ah, I get you. I see you. Yeah, do y'all see what her point she's making? Like, because like you said, a lot of people probably didn't know. Probably Evelyn probably told her friends, like, yeah, guys, I can't go to the game because I have to babysit. But it's like a lot of people probably didn't know. Whoever attacked her, they knew for sure that Evelyn was babysitting this baby. Okay, I see your point. Mine was like the person probably didn't know she was babysitting. Okay, I can see your point too.
Right. So a predator is going to jump on an opportunity. Obviously, they saw this as an opportunity. I don't know if they were specifically targeting a person. I don't know if they were specifically targeting Evelyn or the previous babysitter, but somebody knew that there was going to be somebody there watching his baby. And I don't know, I kind of like think a little bit that it could have been the Professor Vigo. I don't know. Something is telling me that it could have been him. We didn't do a lot of interviews. Like, what if he disappeared for a couple hours? Like, who knows? There's no alibi, right?
Well, I mean, he did have a good alibi. He was at the game, but we don't know, like, did he slip out for a couple of seconds? Because he did pick her up. But I don't know. I'm stuck because to me, it's like he had to have a lot of time to do it, though. That's the only thing. If he snuck out, he had to attack her. But, like, why would you go through the windows? It was a lot that he just had to get done.
Did he go through the window seal?
I mean, he probably did, but he had to bust that window. It was a lot that he had to lose. But then he left a lot of clues. Like, man, you went through all of that work to do, like, to hide from your family, to go back to your house. Why did you lose so much? Why did so many clues get left behind? That's my only thing is so many clues was just left. Because we see another case, I forgot her name. She was a housewife where she just got kidnapped in front of her child. But this person, like, carried the woman out and it's left. Like, no really clues was left behind. But this one, it's like so many.
The door. The door had a self-locking mechanism. How did the predator know about it?
I don't know. Well, did they really know about it, though?
They obviously went out a certain door, right? I don't know. Self-locking doors, I don't know if back then they were common. It doesn't seem like they were.
What really was it? It had to be a lot of money back then, though, to buy one. Because I know even now it's like, that's kind of cool, I'd admit.
So, you know, like it's like sloppy, but it's also like this person knew. This person was very knowledgeable of who was going to be there, when they were going to be there, how to enter, how to exit. Of course, I've never, and I never plan to unalive somebody, but I'm sure it's messy, you know? Like you said, she fought back. Maybe the suspect didn't really think about, like, how much she was going to fight.
So think about this part. Evelyn's dad said he told her to call at 8:30. What if the suspect was still in the household hurting Evelyn around that time, right? And her dad is calling. Then like, he like, okay, like, they're gonna stop. Then he called again. Then he called again. But what if, like, he like, okay, why he keep calling? Like, and then what if Evelyn said, like she probably tried to threaten him, like, try to kind of, say, oh, that's my dad. Like, I was supposed to call at 8:30, but I didn't. If I don't call or answer, he's gonna come and check. And he was like, oh, shoot, like, I gotta get out, but I want to take this girl with me because what if she saw the face and she probably knew the killer?
How did the suspect know to do everything before that phone call?
But what if, I'm just saying, like, what if the person was still there during the phone call?
It's just this person knows too much.
So you think it was somebody that Evelyn, well, we all agree, probably not, well, now I agree. It's probably somebody that Evelyn knew and the family knew. I don't feel like it's the professor's side. I think it's probably Evelyn's side that knew. What if she was talking to somebody? Because she was heavily in church, and she probably let it slip out. Like,
but she was never at that house. That was the first time. Well, I don't know if that was the first time, but that wasn't part of her routine. That wasn't part of her gig. To me, if you have a stalker, they're not going to really try and do anything until they've seen a certain pattern. And this was like the first time that she was kind of out. How did they know the house?
They really did know this house. Like, but you gotta think about it. Okay, what if they did know that? What if they did know the house, but they knew the professor? Because it is a small community. What if he did have a group of friends over that know his house? Like, he probably showed off his house because they just moved there. You got all this fancy stuff because you got the door that locks automatically. He probably like, oh, like, look at this. Because the dad, when he come in, he didn't notice a lot of stuff. He like, oh, like this unfinished, basement. He was noticing things for the first time. Well, if this person knew the layout, but also kind of knew Evelyn, like somebody that knows both families.
Right. I feel like this person knew the professor more than Evelyn. This person knew that this professor was bringing in a babysitter constantly. It changed this time. But to me, if you're going to try and do something, you got to scout pretty good. You got to identify patterns. And the only pattern here, or the only similarity here, is the professor's house. and the professor's babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it seems like it's somebody who knew the professor or the professor himself. To me, that's my theory.
Don't think it was a professor. I don't know, because I just feel like he didn't have enough time to me. Because if he dropped his wife off and then he drove back, I mean, Evelyn could have said like, hey, my dad was going to call at 8:30. Like, I got to make sure I call my dad at 8:30. You know, he probably could have known then. It was like, okay, I got to be back before 8:30. And he could have came back around 7, did everything, left clues to make sure he doesn't look like the suspect. I mean, that is another thing. But to me, at first, I thought it wasn't somebody who knows Evelyn. But I don't know. I feel like it's somebody who's going for her. What if she was talking to people saying like, yeah, I got to babysit at this house? They're like, oh, for real? And to me, it was the perfect time, because you got to think about it. Everybody's at homecoming, because as I said, like, everybody was there at homecoming. They was at the game, and the person's like, okay, this is the right time. But then the police said like they tried like different windows. Like, it was 3 different windows they tried to get into, and then that's when they finally go to the basement. So to me, it's like this person was really trying to get to Evelyn. At first, I'm thinking like, okay, it probably wasn't Evelyn. It probably was the other babysitter. But they was trying. It was too much of them trying to get to her. That was my issue.
Okay, so there's another theory.
Mm-hmm.
What if Evelyn was talking to somebody
Mm-hmm.
and they were supposed to meet up at the professor's house? Say a boyfriend or a guy friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then turns out that she is like, oh no, like she gets scared, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh no, like you gotta go, type thing. And they're like, no, like I ain't leaving. Like I came for one thing.
Okay.
That's another possibility.
I mean, her dad did say like she dated. Like, she didn't have a steady boyfriend. She dated. So I get what you're saying. Or it could have been an older guy. Like, she like know her father and her mom won't approve of. And she like, hey, I'm going to babysit and you can come over around this time, right? And he like, bet, he wants some. He comes over and she probably like, she got scared. She got nervous. It's her first time. And she probably like, no, like, I don't want to do it. Because it seemed like S.A.ing was the main thing. Because,
or maybe like she didn't even think that it was going to get that far. But this person had a certain mindset or a certain expectation. Maybe she thought, oh, we're just going to watch TV or catch up, whatever, you know? It doesn't mean that she was trying to make it something inappropriate.
But also, like, no offense or nothing, she bringing her books and stuff. What it's supposed to have been like a study date. Think about that. She brought all her homework. She brought all her books. You bring in all that stuff. Come on, like, a normal teenager, you babysitting. I mean, I can see it. I never, like, back in my day, like, when I babysit, I had my phone and stuff. Like, I didn't bring my homework. I did my homework before I went to babysit it. So she brought her homework and stuff. What if the guy supposed to came over and they supposed to do their homework together? But this case, wow, it's just a lot of theories that we blown out. Like, I feel like the detective right then, like, we got the whiteboard just trying to say everything that we think that happened. But guys, tell us your theories. I really, really, really want to hear your theories. So please, if you watching on YouTube, tell me in the YouTube description. If you're on Spotify or Apple, I know Spotify, you can put in your comments. Apple, you can't. So just go to YouTube or just go to our social medias and inbox me, because this case is a doozy. We are on all social media. We are on all podcast platforms and YouTube. So please come check us out. Give us that 5-star rating, and also like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube. I cannot wait to hear you guys' theory, because we just went through a lot of different theories and a lot of different turns. So tell me, what do you think? This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Because this episode, we kind of proved it.
Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it. They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.